What's up, family? It's none other than your boy JGiddins, the father, as usual. Remember to be positive, optimistic, keep positive people in your circle, baby. I titled this video PPPPP because that is an acronym for proper preparation prevents poor performance. And I want to show y'all how to prevent poor performance with raising your children by being aware of the things that they may be facing, especially if you have them in physical schools. Okay, we at Congress.gov. Now, a lot of y'all may know. A lot of y'all, excuse me, y'all. I'm in the middle of. I actually gotta take this out, but I'm in the middle of. But look, a lot of y'all know that I recently did a video where I was talking about taking your children out of physical school for many reasons. This is just another added reason, or the reason I just did a video about the high lead count in schools that I said is another reason to take your children out. Now, this is the actual law behind what is happening. Okay, I want y'all to understand that if you want to keep up to date, you want to make sure you go to Congress.gov. Now, this is Congress.gov on a mobile site. You can look it up on your phone as well. Now, before we get into what I want to show y'all about trans children, because I want to show y'all some acts and things that they got in place, I'm actually going to just give y'all one good example of what's going on with the feud on a legislative level so you can see what's happening. But look, I just want you to notice something. Whenever you go to Congress.gov, you can see whatever is live today. You can see what they're going over, right? You can see they had a meeting on April 26th, right? Which was what, yesterday or day, one of those, right? And you can see what they're meeting about. Agriculture Satellite Connectivity Act, right? Right? So I would recommend that y'all go here. This is pretty important, especially for my people who believe in law and country and the USA and politics and all of that. You should be on this site regularly, okay? But this is what I want to show y'all specifically, okay? Let's go here. Go to the top here in this search bar, okay? Type in trans, TRANS, okay? All right, now I could give you the specific number or case number, but I don't want to give you that. And we're looking for the congressional record. Okay, the congressional record is essentially the like the typing up, like the stenographer typing up what was being said, or when they you guys have seen those. If you haven't seen those meetings that they have in Congress, they say Mr. Speaker such and such calling on Mr. such and such from such and such. You know what I mean? That's the representation of that. That's what the congressional record is and written. So this is called the Choose Protecting Our Trans Children Over Politics Act. This is in support of trans children. Okay, this is one of those laws that I cried in that video about. My apologies, guys. My energy was... Anyway, this is one of those laws that I was telling you about, okay? Now, I want to read y'all real quick what was said in here, right? I'm going to try to read it from the phone, but it might get too blurry for me to read. Let's see. All right, so look, it says... This is just telling you that the speaker is recognizing everybody that's there. But it says, Mr. Mendez. If it gets blurry, guys, don't worry about it. I'm going to read it for you so that it's not, so that you know what it says. But, yeah. All right. It says, Mr. Mendez says, Mr. Speaker, I rise today. Oh, why is it? Bear with me. Bear with me, y'all. All right, let's look at it this way. There we go. I rise today to speak in opposition to H.R. 734. We're going to take a look at what H.R. 734 is in a second because I want y'all to see what he's speaking in opposition of, right? A bill that chooses politics over protecting our children, specifically our trans children. I want y'all to pay attention to the verbiage that's being used here, because we're going to go over what this H.R. 734 bill is, and he's telling you that this bill is choosing politics over protecting our children. Let's keep on going now, all right? So it says, with all the challenges we are facing as a country, with all the challenges so many working and middle-class families are facing, it is astonishing that we are here debating legislation that seeks to target our children, right? Which is ironic because they're targeting children with this trans shit. But let's keep on going. I intentionally say our children because I do believe as legislators we should be concerned about every child in America, whether they live in a red or blue state, urban or rural community, and however they choose to identify, right? Then it says, yet Republicans, so this is a Democrat, obviously Mr. Mendez, he's a Democrat, yet Republicans, not just in this body, but in legislations across the country, have set their mark on trans children. When we speak of trans children, by most estimates, we are talking about 300,000 people in a country of 331 million. Now listen, I'm not going to finish this out. Basically what he's doing is he's, setting up volleyballing, setting up the scenario that trans children are these bullied children that are being picked on, and there's such a small amount, and we have to do everything that we can to protect them, and All these things, right? So this is what's being said. Look, he even went on to say, as a father, I know that the single greatest gift that we can give our children is the love, support, and encouragement that they need to be the truest and most authentic versions of who they are, because we as adults know that this life is hard and that giving our kids that support is the least we can do. You see how diabolical this is, man? This is wordplay that's going to play on parents. Parents want to be supportive to their children, and parents want to make sure that they're there for their children, so they're wording this in a way as if, you know, if you assist your child with cutting off their penis, then you're being a good parent, and that's the best thing you can do to make sure that your child is being true to themselves. See, this is bull. All right, but let's go back up now. Now this was all, and this was again April 18th, right? Now this was all to oppose, and I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this HR 734 was actually passed about a week ago on April 20th. I think I saw an article that said that that this actually did pass. But this was initially brought up on March 8th. Okay, and this is to protect women and girls. Let's go down and get the congressional record for this, though, and read it, right? So look what it says, right? This is what that other guy was opposing. Check this out. This bill generally prohibits school. I'm gonna read it from here. This bill generally prohibits school athletic programs from allowing individuals whose biological sex at birth was male to participate in programs that are for women or girls. Right? Specifically, the bill provides that it is a violation of Title 9 of the Education Amendments of 1972 for federally funded education programs or activities to operate, sponsor, or facilitate athletic programs or activities that allow individuals of the male sex to participate in programs or activities that are designed for women or girls, right? Now, if you guys aren't familiar with what titles are, you can look them up, but titles are basically like, it's like categorizations of what the Constitution deems as crimes, or like, you know, how you would title something. So like all theft offenses will go under a certain title, all breaking and entering, you know what I mean? It's like, you can look at the titles and see, but they're basically saying that in order to let trans children participate openly like they're asking, then it's going to violate this title, because initially when the Constitution, you know, was created, or when the amendments, it did not allow for you to have a male involved in it. You know what I mean? You guys have common sense. I'm just saying. All right, so let's keep going. The bill does not It says the bill does not prohibit male individuals from training or practicing with programs or activities for women or girls, as long as such training, come on, as long as such training or practice does not deprive any female of corresponding opportunities or benefits. So what this is doing is literally protecting women. What they're saying is, we'll let men be coaches, we'll let men practice and help them with their practice, but we're not going to let you come in and deprive females of their opportunities and benefits. Those are the key words, right? So that's what HR 734 is about. But then, as you saw in the other one, they were saying that this is they're basically saying, you know, that it's more important to protect to allow the trans children to openly participate than it is to protect, you know, the women, and to adhere to the original biological sex, which was what deemed, you know, gender participation in the country. And there, and look, let's go a bit further. Now, see here, it says the Government Accountability Office, right? This is basically like fact checkers for the government. Like, you know what I mean? The Government Accountability Office, or the GAO, they basically like run different reports. You can look them up. They run different tests and studies, and they are like a reliable, unbiased, right? Unbiased source for the government to depend on. Now, look, the Government Accountability Office must report on the benefits for women or girls in single sex sports that would be lost as a result of male participation, right? In particular, the report must document the negative psychological, developmental, participatory, and sociological effects of male participation on girls, right? So what they're saying is they're going to have them do studies to figure out what the psychological effects, right? Meaning, how is it going to make a girl feel who wants to be a girl, who was born a girl, to be next to a man who might have complete dominant traits over her, also identifying as a girl. We already know the way it is for girls trying to, you know, keep up with other girls in high school and all of that stuff. So now she got a whole nother set, and he has a set of skills that a male would have, because he inherited them at birth, and he also has hers because he got the op to kind of be that way unnaturally, right? So how's that going to affect her psyche, meaning the way she thinks and feels about herself and interacts with society, right? Then you got developmental, right? Will it prevent the development of girls in terms of their growth, because of the fact that males are there? And there's many ways that can happen. Participatory, will girls not want to sign up for sports anymore? Is it going to, make them not want to? So now it's just going to become all trans sports, because how many girls want to go in there and play on a team with a 6'5" big woman, because she got the traits of a, you get what I'm saying? Because we can't lie about the participation of biological traits in the development of a human being. So males are going to definitely, be dominant in majority of cases. Then they said, my apologies, come on, will you correct? Sociological effects, meaning how they're going to be communicating socially with each other, how they're going to interact with each other and all that. So look, like I said, y'all, I'm going to jump out of here. I just wanted to show y'all that real quick. So whenever you get a chance, if you're bored or if you need something to do or whatever, just go to Congress.gov. You can type in here any, when you go to the home page alone, it'll have interesting things on there. I mean, let's see what they look what they got on the floor today, right? I think it was something about Biden and issuing a war clearance or something like that. Look, directing the president pursuant to Section 5C of the War Powers Resolution to remove all United States armed forces other than United States armed forces assigned to protect the United States Embassy from Somalia. So basically, this is to pull all of our troops out of Somalia. So if you got, family or somebody who's in the military there in Somalia, this is about that. They're trying to decide if it's best to pull them all out. Everybody except the people who are directly tied to protecting our embassy there, which I would agree it'd be silly to remove them unless you're just removing the whole embassy. Otherwise, you're vulnerable. But look, so you can look over all this stuff. This is a way to stay aware of what's going on. And again, I'm not one who believes in politics. I think all of this shit is bullshit. I think they're going to do what they're going to do regardless. This is just to make you think that there's some, but at the end of the day, if you are someone who does believe in this, or you want to stay aware of what's going on, because you still got to live through this too. So you want to be aware of what's being said when it comes to these things. Okay, this is something you want to be aware of. So yeah, that's Congress.gov. Make sure to keep up with it. This Restrict Act, I'll go over this real quick too, y'all. Y'all want to be aware that this is what this TikTok thing was about, right? This is keeping. Look what this says. This bill requires federal actions to identify and mitigate foreign threats to information and communications technology, products, and services. It also establishes civil and criminal penalties for violations under the bill, right? Specifically, the Department of Commerce must identify, deter, disrupt, prevent, prohibit, investigate, and mitigate transactions involving ICT products and services in which any foreign adversary, such as China, has any interest and that pose an undue or unacceptable risk to U.S. National security or safety of U.S. persons, right? Additionally, Commerce must identify and refer to the President any covered holdings, right, that possess an undue acceptable. So basically what this is saying is that this is like a tool to make sure that if you're doing anything that they consider to be let me see, restricting the emergence of security threats that risk information. Yeah. So this is giving the ability to go in and get access to anything. There's a deeper way to access more information on what this bill is. I just know this bill personally, and I thought it was going to explain it better. But this is going to allow them to get full access to your social devices, any kind of accounts that you have, to go into it to see if you're doing something that falls under what they were just saying. All right, so that's something that and these bills that pop up here are typically ones that are the most viewed or top 10. So yeah, all right, sending positive vibes. Y'all want to keep in mind, this is the places where they decide stuff like when they're gonna tear down your blocks, or when they're gonna rezone you to different areas, or when they're gonna, you know what I mean, when the water's bad, how they're gonna deal with it, whether or not they're gonna cut all, your disability and all of your benefits and all that kind of stuff. It's decided here. So I would recommend that you guys take a look if that's something you're interested in, or if you're just bored and got stuff, nothing to do. Take a look at what the House and Senate is discussing, and then also try to make your children aware of certain things that they should know about. Like again, the video that I did before this about how the public school system has just shown that they have high lead count in a Baltimore County school, at least. All right. One love, y'all. Please remember to be positive, optimistic, keep positive people in your circle, as those three things are key to ensure positivity is invited in your future. All right, it's your boy JGiddins out.